Hi again, everybody! Today's chapter is a complete breather. In fact, in the way I will show you to go through it, you only need to face one completely non-threatening enemy in combat. Cool, eh? But anyways, this is the last of Darkest Night, but the lack of light just makes this chapter more tedious than anything else. You'll see. We'll skip map overview for now and just go straight into the action. Bring Laura, Safie, and anyone with at least 10 build. They're all you need, but feel free to also bring Leafus or any other unit with some chest keys to help open the numerous goodie bags. Also, bring some form of torch, Safie's repair staff if you weren't able to get Serum's sleep staff intact, and the warp staff. If you still had Serum in custody at the end of chapter 12, he will join at the start here. But to start off, light a torch and then use Safie to warp Laura right to where Pawn is so she can talk to him. This not only recruits Pawn, not only class changes Laura to Dancer, but also disengages every enemy on the map, to which they'll all immediately rush to the nearest stairway to exit the map, completely ignoring you. By the way, I should also point out, Serum and Leafus can also recruit Pawn, but Laura talking to him is the only way that Laura will become a Dancer, so make sure you do that. Anyway, this enemy exodus unfortunately also includes a recruitable ally that you can only feasibly reach normally through multiple move star procs. So on turn 2, if you want him, use Serum's sleep staff to give the sword fighter Trude an extended nap time. Then just capture him with your 10 or greater build unit, and you'll get him at the end of the chapter, just like Leafus and Serum. Once all this is done, you can proceed at your leisure, opening all the chests to reveal the charge manual, a shield ring, a fortify staff, an armor slayer, and a knight's proof. But I will stress one thing. Do not attack any dancers you may come across. Trust me, it'll become relevant shortly. Anyway, proceed to the room Pawn and Lara are in and have Safie talk to Tina to recruit her. Then, you have the waiting game to play.
One eternity later.
On turn 25, provided you did not capture or kill any dancers, one will spawn on this tile holding a valuable knight's proof for you to steal. So make sure you have a thief nearby waiting. Again, don't fight her, steal the proof, and then let her skedaddle on out of the map.
2 hours later.
Then, on turn 30, a second dancer will spawn at the same tile with the same requirements, holding a freaking warp staff. Feel free to capture this one though, as that's the last pinata enemy to appear. Once you've gotten those 2 rewards, feel free to capture the throne to end this very short and very simple chapter. But, before we go, let's take a look at all 4 of the units we've acquired. Serum is an interesting unit. For starters, being a Lopto mage, he is the first playable dark magic user in Fire Emblem history. Yet for reasons that will become immediately apparent, most vets of the game will tell you that Serum's greatest achievements is in staff usage. Here's why. There are 4 dark tomes in 776, and only 2 can even be used by Serum. The basic dark tome is Yotsmagan, and it's pretty terrible. For a base tome, it's quite powerful at Might 14. It's also moderately accurate and has a small crit bonus of 10%, but its weight of 12 kills any use. And it's not like Dime Thunder where it has the Brave effect to counteract the huge speed loss. The other Dark Tome is actually really awesome though. Fenrir is a long-range tome with a ridiculous might of 18 and a superb accuracy of 90, putting it miles ahead of the other long-range tomes. The only problem is that Fenrir is A rank and Serum starts with a C in magic, which means he would need to cast Yotsmagand 100 times to get to A rank, since his promotion doesn't actually increase dark magic rank, meaning the potential of Fenrir is completely wasted, save for enemy use. Wah wah. It staves where Serum is best. He starts with a C rank and gains a rank when promoting, meaning he can potentially be a second A staff user, something you can never have enough of. But for other practical combat purposes, Serum can use wind right off the bat, but his stats and growths are just terrible, and it takes a lot of scroll abuse to get anywhere with him, to which I will say, it really isn't worth it. Oh well. Pawn, on the other hand, is the fucking boss. I love you, Volk, but move the hell over, because this guy is the true king of thieves and assassins. Unlike Leafus and Laura, Pawn starts already promoted with great stats and base growths all around. Solar Sword, Ambush, and the ultimate combination of a PCC of 5 and 5 move stars. Damn! Those 5 move stars are not to be trifled with. That's a 25% freaking chance to get a second turn. He also brings with him the King's Sword, essentially a slightly weaker but substantially lighter Brave Sword, that also gives its wielder plus 20 crit and the charisma skill. It's probably best to just give this to Leaf to better protect himself and also act as a charisma bot, but if you need to bust this thing out, it's probably the best overall sword to use in the game. Don't underestimate it. And thanks to Ambush and Solar Sword, Pawn is one of the sturdiest and most reliable units you could ever ask for. Pawn is without a doubt one of my favorite characters in all of Fire Emblem, and he's one of the best units in 776. Definitely use him. Tina is another anomaly of a unit, as she's a cleric that is a better thief than healer. Let me explain. Compared to every other healer you have at this point, Tina is extremely outdated. She's an E rank in staffs, which delegates her to only basic healing, a starting magic of 3, and a skill of 1, which means not only are her heals weak, they're also highly likely to miss when you most need them. But on the other hand, Tina has 2 unique staffs, the Unlock Staff, which can open any door, chest, or bridge on the map from any range, and the Thief Staff, which can steal any item from any unit on the map, provided said item's weight is lower than Tina's magic stat. They're still subject to missing, but Tina also has 5 move stars to help alleviate this. And as one peculiar observation, her movement growth of 5% is actually the highest of any unit in the game. Neato, right? Still, Tina is a purely utility unit. You can do some wacky things with her unique staffs, she just needs a bit of training and or a holy water boost first. Lastly here we have Trude, the last of the 4 sword fighters you'll get, and also the weakest. His stats aren't bad, but his base growths are nothing compared to Shiva or Meritus, and he's a PCC of 1 to bring it all together. The only good things about Trude are his awareness skill and slightly higher base build of 9 compared to all the other sword fighters. But this is only 2 points higher than Shiva, whom you've already had for 8 chapters, and Merida and her magic sword render Trude's boss killer potential completely moot. He's just really mediocre, so much that his silver sword will probably see more use than him. And if you really want to save use on the sleep staff to get him, I'd say you really aren't missing much. Well, that's it then. Next time, Chapter 9, Part 2, with even more cannon fodder. See you then! Merida is the 3rd of 4 sword fighters you'll get. That sounded weird. Lastly here we have Trude, the last of the 4 sword fighters you'll get, and also the weakest. His stats aren't bad, but his Great Stoats... What the hell is that supposed to mean? What the hell did I just say there?